Today I got a lot of stuff to go over. I sold a ton of cards. It's been a really good day. I had 11 cards on eBay sold, and then I got an order for 25 cards on HIP. That's out of the norm. That was like a $115 order. So 25 cards on one order and another card on HIP. So that's 26 cards on HIP Postcards that I sold. And then I only got 2 on Etsy. So it's about a $200 day. So I'm going to sprinkle those what solds throughout the video, and you'll be able to see that. And I'll go kind of quick on them since there's so many of them. But you can always rewind and go back and look at them. And for the special topic today, Chrome postcards. And I'm talking about the Chrome era, the deltology defined era from 1939 to present, not the photochrome tricolor ones from before. So especially the 1939 and forward is what I'll be talking about. Then I have some examples as well. And then I have one of those polls that I put out on Saturdays. This was kind of interesting number. What is the average number of postcards you sell per month? And I got some statistics on that. And then I got some real quick viewer comments at the end. One of them is, what does the SM and SM postcards mean? So I'll explain that now, the history behind that. But let me go ahead and do the eBay or the Etsy cards first, and then I'll do some eBay cards, and then I'll kind of quickly go through the HIP postcards after the special topics and sprinkle them in. So the first card that sold on Etsy, if I can pick them up, this was a $100,000 electric fountain in Lake Willow Grove Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So if you see right up there, it says $100,000. So they were saying this didn't cost $100,000, but there's actually some people in a boat by the fountain and stuff. I don't know if the fountain's still there. It does have a flea market or an antique booth. It says $1, booth number 1. I don't take those off. I leave that up to the collector. But it is a divided back with the line. Kind of a neat card. Sold between $4 and $5 on Etsy. And that number, let me see that. That number, that was just recently listed, probably in the last 3 months, and it sold. And the second card that sold on Etsy is Surf and Sand Hotel. Hotels. There's the ocean, there's a hotel, there's a beach. You know, got some decoration along the bottom, like little surf along the bottom. But it's an advertising card for a hotel, but it does show a beach. Someone stayed there. They wanted some memories. So $4 to $5 for that. Now on eBay, they sprinkled in yesterday with the orders. The first one I sold was one of those 3.5 by 6 inch Navy ship photos. This is the John W. Wheels DDD 701. So this is just a photo. It's not a postcard. It's got a little curving to it, but it's on photo paper, and that's the way it was stored. And this will be shipped not by eBay standard envelopes, and since it's one photo, and I sold this for like $8.55, $9. This will go with a stamp and a label to the gentleman. Next one is kind of a neat card. Campus Scene, Baker University, Baldwin City, Kansas. It's an older card. It had a 10-cent price on it, so from years ago, but it's kind of a faded out look type card, just a walkway campus of this Baldwin University. Sold between $4 and $5. Next one is a white border card. There's that little thing. I always see that a lot on white borders, but it's slick like this. And this is Barrington House, Searles Hopkins Mansion, Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Nice looking card. Hotel. It's got some mountains in there. $4 to $5. Then I sold one of these naval covers. This gentleman actually corresponded to in eBay in the messages. He thinks he might 99% chance that he did this. He calls these caches. I call them naval covers, naval cancellations, and he thinks the Postal Service thing is cache. So I asked him, and he thinks that's what they're called. So, but I'll continue to call them the covers. That's where I got everything marked on there. But he thinks he was on the Oklahoma. He was injured in the Navy on a 5-inch gun, he said, and then he was promoted, and he was doing the postal service on this ship. So he has a feeling that he did this, and he gave me a little bit of history about it on there. But I'm glad that's going to him. He thanked me for the memories. So that sold for $4.55. That is not eBay standard envelope. It's not in the category, so that'll go with a stamp and a label as well. Here's a view card of Grand Bryce Canyon National Park, Utah. Just a view card of some rocks, mountains. $4 to $5. Next one is a naval ship. It's called the North American. It's from the Georgian Bay Line. It's 2,317 tons, 291 feet wide, and a breadth of 47.5 feet across. So this is not a continental card. This is going to go in a 5x7 sleeve, but it's a solid card stock. Does have some information on there. $4 to $5. I have probably about 100 of those cards on there. Then I sold another naval ship, USS Hewitt. It's a general purpose destroyer. Just your regular chrome card. It's got the information on there, and it says credit U.S. Navy right on there. So this, you'll see a lot of these types of cards, and that's $4 to $5. Whenever you get a card like this, make sure you put fishing in the title. That's a key word that'll trigger a lot of searches. This is fishing on Talquanum Falls, Luce County, Upper Peninsula, Michigan. There's the name. I probably destroyed it trying to say it, but somebody's fishing. Especially this time of year in the winter when people can't get out. Fishing might be a hot item when it comes into the spring, so get fishing, fly fishing, surf fishing, or whatever. The next one I sold was the Blaze on the Rim of the River, Great Ossipee at Effingham Falls, New Hampshire. Just a view card of a river. This is a newer card, chrome card, you can just tell. And unposted, $4 to $5. Now I do have a video come up about Valentine's card coming up in February. And like I said before, I don't do a lot of holiday cards. So they just don't do well for me. But this is an exception. This card sold for $15. It's a kind of a little boy to my best love. I'll share with you my Valentine. It's a neat looking card. I've had it in there. The inventory number on this one was a while ago. I think I picked this up at an auction. So, but I put it up for like $14, $15 and it sold. It is posted in 1918. So that's kind of an anomaly for me for holiday cards that I sold it. And the last one on eBay, and I'll save the hip ones for later. I'll sprinkle them in and we'll get through those. But this is another motel. You always want to look for motels with signs, chrome cards, old cards, whatever. People like motels, especially if they have cars. This motel is the Blue Water Motel. Not too sure. It's in Canada. So if you see the sign there, motel, there's a car over there. Just a view card of a motel, but somebody stayed there, and that's what makes it there. So that was 13 of the 39 cards I sold, and I left the hip ones to go through here in a minute. But I want to get into the special topic. The special topic for today is chrome cards, and I'm talking about Kodachrome cards from 1939 to present day. Not the photochrome cards and the tricolor ones from the older and stuff like that. This is the era of chrome, 1939 today. Just want to make sure I define that before I go forward. But a lot of people ask me about chrome cards. Why do you sell chrome cards and stuff? I love chrome cards. I always tell people I'll dumpster dive for a chrome card. It's from my time frame. It has a lot of the scenes on there I know. And stuff like that. I do like the older cards as well, but I've kind of went after the chrome era and more from divided back, white border, linen, and chrome is where my niche is. The other ones I'll do when I see them and they come in the lots and stuff like that, or I pick them out at the antique store. But the chrome cards is really what I like. Now, what is a chrome? Let me put it right down here. Chromes, and that's what I'll refer to them as. is chromes throughout this topic. 1939 to present. Chrome cards are postcards of the chrome era. So that's an era defined in deltiology, which began in 1939 and continue to be produced to this day. So the process is still there today. The term chrome originated with Kodak's Kodachrome film. So you'll hear them called Kodachrome as well. These are the postcards which we typically use today and see today, and are characterized by their photo-like appearance and glossy finish on the face of the card. So just like this card here, you can tell it's got the glossy figure. That's a chrome card, and they're probably one of the easier ones to pick out just by looking at them. Chrome cards are made by a printing process composed of very small dots. So they're not real photo postcards, they're chrome cards. And they're microscopic dots, I call them. Little back history on chromes. Modern chrome have been called Kodachrome, and Kodachrome was a brand named by Easton Kodak. They stopped production of Kodachrome around 2009 after about 74 years. So they're not doing the Kodachrome production on those. Also, I remember a song by Paul Simon around 1973 called Kodachrome, where he talked about his camera. But if I remember right, it was a Nikon camera, color camera. So if you do a search and you see Paul Simon, there was a song Kodachrome out there. A lot of these types of postcards are usually just called chromes for short, and like I said, that's what I'll refer to them. So when you hear the word chrome, you're really in the era of 1939 to present. Changes occurred in 1936 when Kodachrome was invented that would be used for commercial photomechanical reproduction and more colors. So that's around 1936 when they started thinking and inventing this Kodachrome process, which will give that photomechanical production and some more colors, real, the photos that you see on them. But there was issues with the dyes that would not be resolved until about 1938. So I think they had some smearing, the machines, a lot of tinkering going on that time. And they say the Union Oil series of 1939 was the first chromes produced, and they gave them away at their gas stations as premiums. And during the war, they had to slow down because of the restrictions on things and stuff like that. But they say the Union Oil's 1939 series was the first ones. The printed chrome cards resemble color photographs even though they're made from a halftone offset lithography. So they look like actual real photos, but they're made from a halftone offset lithography. Some publishers thought this process was a fad back then when it started, and continued to print linen cards. So you're going to see some crossover in the linen and the chromes and stuff, and they just thought this was a fad. The chromes weren't going to make it, just another thing and stuff like that. But chromes took off and linens didn't. I like the linen cards too. It's a part of his postcard history. I like linens. And I have a video coming up on linen cards. And I think the title is, Are Those Fake Postcards? A lot of people don't like the linens. Or the chromes. With the chromes, because there was no serious retouching was needed on these chromes, they were a lot cheaper to produce. They just run them through the presses. They have the people go out, take some pictures, they get them squared away on the, what'll fit on the paper, and they just run them on the high-speed presses. Very cheap to do. Chromes also marked the declining of the artist touches on postcards. So they didn't need a lot of artists anymore. They just went out and took a picture of the cameras they had for the day and stuff like that. So they didn't really need artists sitting around retouching postcards before they went to print and stuff like that. So there was a decline started with the chromes. Color quality has continued to improve since the early dull, grainy images when the dots were bigger. Machines got better. And just like all technology, the more we got it, the more we learned. There's always that stage of learning and stuff, and it gets better, and then it kind of levels out. So that's what's going on with the chromes. They just get better every day. Now, in the beginning, chromes were highly sought after collectors. They were a fad. There was something new. But as the years passed, people thought they had a plain look, just view cards and stuff like that. And they pretty well considered them worthless. But nowadays, a select number of these chrome cards are beginning to have a renewed resurgence. And collectors are, looking for them because some of the scenes on some of these older chrome cards in the 1940s, 50s, they have changed. So it's beginning to get into their time, I think, with the chromes. Just like the Continental cards of today, the 6x4 cards. One day, those will probably be what's happening with the chrome cards and the linen cards now. Now, I do have some chrome cards I'm going to walk through. They are very prevalent out there. Every box of postcards, you're going to see them. And when you see lots of postcards, like on eBay, you'll see them say, vintage lot of postcards, 1,000. No chromes, no foreign, no linens. A lot of people don't want the chromes. They want the older ones. But that's changing a little bit more. I see a lot of the chrome. You used to be able to buy a box of 1,000 postcards, for $80, $70 plus shipping. Now they're going into $120, $140, $150. People are really getting more and more into the chromes I've seen on there. But the chrome cards I have to show you are just ones I just picked out since there's so many. So I'll go through these. This is the one I showed in the beginning. This is just a hotel. It's called the Sundown Hotel. And notice there's a sign right there. It's got the blue sky. Is this this is Dexter, so that's probably from that same sky they use across a lot of postcards. But it's Sundown, and it's just a chrome card. It's got the glossy, see if I can make it shine, see the glossy finish? That's a chrome card. It's got the divided back. It doesn't say address or correspondent because everybody kind of knows the address here, message here. It's got a stamp box, it's got a label, so it's got the postcard back. So that's your typical chrome card. Another chrome card. This one's a little longer than a standard card. You can see the difference. This is cut a little different. More of a grand. This is the Grand Terminal, Farmers Union Grain Terminal, Minnesota. So this is a little bit bigger. So if you get these types of cards, I always, when they're this size, a little bit bigger, I put in the description or thing. I put the actual size in. So if people are going to frame it, it's not a 3.5 by 5.5 or 6 by 4, a little bit bigger or smaller. I'll just put that in the description. Saves you a lot of time. People ask questions. Next one is this is probably an older 50s one. Just a picture of a loaf of bread, same back and stuff. But you'll see a lot of different publishers use different things on the back. Most of the time you'll see the publisher's name down the middle as the line. So then you get into what they call banner cards. These are very sought after. They're very well, a lot of these scenes might not even be to where this actually is. They put a generic scene on there and then they would just change this on the printing and just keep printing these things out. So I call these banner cards, but they do sell. They stick out in the listings really well if you do a zoom in a little bit. They don't, chromes don't sell for top dollars, but if it's a certain subject, scene, where it was, who did it, and stuff like that. Now this is a White House series. This came out of some kind of a folder probably. You can see the perforation where they ripped it out, and this is the White House. Just a chrome card. Then you got this one. This is kind of a different type of postcard. I don't really know if you couldn't say it's a postcard because it doesn't have a postcard back. This is of a boat going through some lot. It looks like a log. You can watch the ship go through. Maybe it's going through the Panama Canal. I'm not for sure what that is. But it doesn't have a stamp box. It doesn't have a place for address, message, or a label. So I wouldn't say it's a postcard. Now, if you stuck a stamp on there and you put a label of an address, it would probably go through the mail. But that's just another typical type chrome card. Maybe it's a trade card or whatever. Not if anybody knows what to call those. I don't see them too often. And then this is some kind of cane collis, some kind of flower with yellow fruits. These are just a view card of a flower. It's chrome, as you can see the shininess. But you should be able to go through a box of chrome postcards and see the chromes and stuff like that. I look for signs, motels, swimming pool, beaches, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, all these different places. Chromes. I do, I sell them for no lower than $4.55, and I've sold chromes for $20, $30. stuff like that. It just depends what people pay, especially Disney. Disney Chromes do well. So you want to get some of the older ones on there. But as we're talking about pricing, let's go through what I usually do. So here's the sold high over here. So here's one of a vintage chrome postcard. Now I don't put VTG, vintage, or stuff like that. I just don't do that. Or rare. I just really try not to put those in my titles. But this is Tamqua, Pennsylvania. It's some kind of store or something with a sign. The reason I picked this, it's got a sign, and that's probably what helps sell this. $34.95 plus $3.50 shipping. Not bad for a chrome card. The next one is Space Age Lodge Moon House, Anaheim, California. $31. $35 with shipping. That's a neat looking little card there. And then stadiums, any kind of stadiums. This is National League Houston, Texas. Maybe the stadium is not there anymore. They tore them down, they renamed it, especially with the names on them and stuff like that. But stadiums do pretty well. This one sold, they took an offer, maybe $40, $35 plus for $3.50 shipping. So look for stadiums as well on the chrome cards. But those right there, that's $35, $40 for a chrome card. So you always want to still look at them for the subject, where it was done, the age, who did it, what is it, and stuff like that. But then you get into the extremes. What can I say? 99 cents. 99 cents, 99 cents. I'm not the postcard police of pricing. I'm not going to call anybody out and stuff. But some of these people will sell thousands of these 99-cent cards. It's a lot of work to pack up 1,000 postcards on Monday morning after auctions, but it's a model, and it's successful for people. But I could probably get $4.55, $4, $5 for some of these cards they put up for 99 cents. But they work on a quantity method. It's just their model on there and stuff. But by the time they got free shipping in there, 99 cents minus 53 cents for eBay standard envelope, that's going to give you 46 cents left. You pay eBay 10 cents, 36 cents. By the time you put your time in there, I think you're going to be negative. I think people need to really take a look at what they got. Now, if you do it quantity-wise and you get these cards for nothing, so there's always pros and cons to it, but I'm just not a fan of the 99-cent stuff anymore. But let's take a look at the listed. Now, right here is the Delaware Gap Bridge chrome card. Now, a lot of people will put linen, chrome, divided back, and stuff in their title and all that. I don't do that. I just put the subject in there and stuff like that. And you can go back and forth with titles, what people think. Do they use the initials of the state, like New Jersey, NJ, Illinois, IL, instead of typing the whole name of the state out? I type the whole name out. It's just something, makes it look consistent in your store, in your listings. It doesn't take that much longer to type the names and stuff like that. Some people put the initials and the state. eBay's smart enough, I think, to know NJ or New Jersey is the same with the search engine nowadays. Type it into Google, NJ or New Jersey, and see what you get. That's a search engine as well. But here, $47.99 for Water Gap Bridge Chrome postcard. That caught my eye, and I'm sitting there, why is this card $48 or best offer? So I went out and I said, I'm going to see if I can find this card. So I went and looked on there. I found the same card. Here's one, $5 plus $1.35 shipping. Here's another one, $10 or $11 plus $1 shipping. What makes the top card different? They're kind of different with the truck there. The other one doesn't have the truck. But they're just different scenes of the same place, so it's pretty prevalent. But $48, do you think that one will sell over the other ones? Or is there something special about that truck? Or maybe I'm missing something, but that's what I'm talking about, the extremes about everything. Then you get over to the other ones that are listed high, or just listed. Here's one of a view of a restaurant, coffee shop in Paris, Texas, $37.50. Here's one on Route 66, $35. So that's got cars in there. They can date them and stuff like that. Is it worth $37? Or is it worth $35? You can try. So, but that's what you're going to see listing. So if you're doing comps on eBay of your postcards, be careful and make sure you do your research. Most Chrome cards are going to be your average cards. View cards, stuff like that, unless it's the subject, where it's at, who did it, stuff like that is special. And you'll get to know what special is just by looking through people's solds and stuff like that. So be careful out there when you're comping cards off of eBay or what people are listing. You don't never know what they got the card for, or if there's something special they know that you don't know. That's what you want to kind of find. And ask questions to the sellers. You know, ask them, why is this a $47 card, and see what they say. There might be something in the picture that I missed. So you can't know everything. That's Chrome cards. Not much to them. Very easy to find out there. They're pretty prevalent. So you can get them pretty cheap too. You know, I don't pay more than a quarter basically for a Chrome card. Most of the time I pay less than 10 cents, maybe less than a nickel for Chrome cards. But I will pick them up. I have no problem picking and selling Chrome cards. That's probably one of the top type of cards that I have. So there is a market for those out there. And if you question that, go take a look at my solds and see what I got today. People are buying Chrome cards. Not for high dollars. They're, you know, if you get into RPPCs and some of the higher price cards, that's a different sourcing model. A lot of those cards are going to be in collections already. They're harder to find, takes longer to source, takes longer to research. You get your average Chrome card, you want to mix those in your store too. Minimal research, easy to find, loads up the store, you know, gets people interested coming into your store. So if you do all high-end cards, that's fine. If you do all Chrome cards, that's fine. But if you have a good mixture and variety, it's like going to the grocery store. If they only had one type of noodles and one type of milk and eggs, and that's it, you wouldn't stay there that long. You go to the store that has more variety, more things that you can pick from. Now, does pricing have a lot to do with it? So my Etsy, on Etsy they can do what they call favorite your item. And one of the cool things is if they favorite your item, you can send them a coupon automatically in Etsy. So I thought that was a pretty neat feature. So if they favorite the item and don't do anything, I think I send them a 10% coupon code automatically. But I'm getting all these favorites. What is stopping these people pulling the trigger and just buy it? They're just favoring day after day after day. I said, okay, let me go see if it's priced. So I went in and I put everything on like a 10-20% discount for the month. Has it helped? As you notice today, I only got 2 cards. So it's not price as much as it is the subject, where it is, and stuff like that. You know, what type of card it is, and just brings back memories. So I'm still not, by changing the price down, didn't really trigger people. They're still favoring the cards. So I wanted to do that little test for the whole month and just see if it's priced, and it's not priced. I'm not that far off where it should be. But let me go ahead and go through some of these hip cards. This $25 order, or 25 card order, which was worth about $115, and I had another one sell on a hip as well. So 26 cards in hip postcards is different. It's not the norm. But I've had 100 card orders, 70 card orders on hip as well. You just never know with hip postcards. It's a micro niche site. Okay, so I'm going to try to go through these quick so I don't run out of time. You can always stop and look at the card. This one is Walnut Street looking east in Louisville, Kentucky. Chrome card. And these cards are all sold for $4.45 on hip in this order. Along Church Street, Charleston, South Carolina. Nassau and the Bahamas. Bay Street. Bourbon Street, New Orleans. Carriages on 59th Street, New York. Crooked Street and there, Lombard Street, San Francisco. Notice all these are Chrome cards. Exchange Street, Portland, Maine. Typical Street Scene, New Orleans. King Street, Thousand Islands. Look at those cards. Lace Ironworks, New Orleans. San Francisco, looking down Market Street from Twin Peaks. Calico Ghost Town, California. Main Street, Concord, New Hampshire. Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Market Street and Aloe Plaza, St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, this way. You can see the arch back there. Hill Street, Grass Valley, California. More Lace Ironworks, New Orleans. Oldest schoolhouse, linen card, St. Augustine, Florida. Rodin Museum, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Corn Fence, New Orleans, right there. Corn Fence. St. George Street, St. Augustine, Florida. DeKalb, Illinois. It's where my mother's from. It's about 2 hours north of me. Main Street. Boston Common Mall, Boston, Massachusetts, right there. There's the old courthouse. Iron Lace Balconies, again, New Orleans. Street Scene, New Orleans. And then the single order on hip was Louisiana Capitol and Evron's. I know those went kind of quick, but you can go back and forth. That just shows you right there is 26 cards from the hip order. So 25 on one order and 26 there. The 25 cards will be packaged up nicely and it'll be sent first class since it's domestic, and I think it's going to California or Texas, but it'll be put that way and sent out there. I might even do a priority for the number of cards he did just to make sure he gets it, and there's a little speedy time. But right, post office has been doing pretty good, so it might be first class. 39 cards, $200. I'll take that. You know, first of the year, I always take that type of thing, especially hip. When I saw that in there. Poll I send out polls on Saturday mornings, 9 o'clock. They're very easy to do. I just put a question out there. You either put a comment or yes, no, or whatever. You pick the thing. It's all anonymous. I don't know who picks what. It doesn't give me that information. But the poll that I put out and I picked for this video is, what is the average number of postcards per month do you sell? Now, we had 45 people vote on this one, and I put less than 50, 50 to 200, 201 to 500, and greater than 500. 64% of the people say they sell less than 50 cards per month. 24% said 50 to 200. 7% said 200 to 500, and only 4% over 500. And that's where I fall. I'm over the 500 average per month. But if you go back to the video about how many cards they have listed, this kind of falls in line there. The more cards you have listed, the more you're going to sell. The better titles, better pictures, better price to sell, the more you'll sell. Those are the keys. Keywords in your title will trigger saved searches. But out of those 64% of people, might be part-time people, might just fell into some postcards, put them up there. But if you're serious about postcards, you want to get the number of cards listed. It is a grind to get it up there, but if you want to get into the 50 to 200, or you want to get in over to 500, you have to list every day, and you have to get the numbers up there. And I'm talking, you know, I didn't see a good cash flow until I reached about 6,000 postcards listed. Then I was selling enough every day that was worth it to me. Before that, I was questioning a little bit if they, you know, was it worth my time sitting here. But when I reached, you know, 5,000 to 6,000 postcards, I'm saying, okay, yeah, this will work. So you figure an average person, if they're listing 30 day or average or whatever, so let's say 10,000 a year. If you're really serious and this is your full-time gig, and you can put up 10,000 a year. So if someone has 30,000 cards, they've done it for 3 years. Now, some people can list a lot more, a lot faster. My average I try to hit this year is 40 cards average listed above what's sold and what I had yesterday. So I take that number off and I try to keep an average of 40. Right now, this month, I'm about 55 average. So I have some days I can lay off. So if something comes up Sunday and I want to go do something, it'll keep my average. But I'm the one that made the rule. But if you want to keep ahead of the game and stuff like that, you want to get up there. But this was kind of interesting that 64% said less than 50 cards. So if you're selling cards for $10 a piece, that's $500. You're doing good. But if you're selling $2, $3 cards, make $100 a month for the time. Yeah. So, but I thought I would share this. It's kind of interesting, but it depends on what people are. But if they want to get serious about it and stuff and get into that 500, it does take time. Watch the videos I have. It should help you. Got any questions? There's a lot of people in here that can help out to get that number up, help you get that number up. Now, they can't physically list your postcards, but they can answer your questions. Viewer comments. These comments come from YouTube video comments, emails, eBay, different places. So I picked 3 of them pretty quick here since I had so many what sold cards. I didn't want to run a long video just on that. But the first comment I always get, and I put it on here, is what does SM stand for in SM Postcards? My wife's name's Shelly. My first name's Mark. So Shelly and Mark, Postcards. Our parent company is Shellmark Sales. Shelly and Mark. Shellmark Sales is the main company, and SM Postcards is an entity underneath that. Now, why did I pick that? Well, S or J, S sounds good in front of anything. SM, SL, SA, stuff like that. And I always think if you're going to use a name of something, you should have what you're selling so you can market it. So SM and then Postcards. So I first said Postcards, and what should I put up there? And I had Shellmark Sales, so I just put SM Postcards. So if anybody looks and sees where this came from, what do I sell? Postcards. So if you have some real cryptic name out there like Butterfly Sales, do you sell butterflies or do you sell postcards? Or if you're the card shop, do you sell greeting cards or do you sell trade cards or do you sell postcards, business cards? You look at this title, it says SM Postcards. So they know it's a postcard. I didn't say SM Vintage Postcards. I didn't say SM Divided Back Postcards. SM Chrome. I just said SM Postcards so people can look on there. So that's just part of a marketing. I'm not a marketing genius, but that's just what I felt when I got the name. And I use the same name across all sites. Etsy, eBay, Hip, even on Pinterest, Twitter, all these different places. All have SM Postcards. Even YouTube is SM Postcards. So the name is taken on all those. You don't want somebody to come in and not know that it's the same. Now, is there a risk of that? Somebody saying something about one store and the other? That's fine. There's processes in place to take care of people or situations on that and all the sites. They really can't do anything on that. But the next question I came from Calamity Reclamation. I totally relate with redoing your inventory many times. I've done it so many times, including several times for other folks, since I have run other folks' stores as well. I can say hands down, individual unique SKU numbers for each item is the way to go. For sure. For sure. For sure. Things are almost never lost, and it's so fast to pick for shipping. Hours, days, months saved. I didn't listen to my own advice on all my inventory and recently moved to having all my inventory on Sellbrite, which is a cross-posting app. They require unique SKUs for each item, so I had to reorganize some things again. I think I'm finally done, though, if I only had been convinced many years ago. Again, do it the way your mind thinks, the way you want it. I found, exactly as Calamity said here, I like the individual SKU numbers on each item. It just very simple to me to do. I don't have to look through 100 cards to find one card, but people do it differently. I don't have a better mousetrap, but if you're going to be serious about postcards, really pick a way to do inventory and stick with it. You will probably change it up, but it's easier to change it up when you got 500 cards than when you got 10,000 cards. It is a grind, and so, but pick what you want to do with it, but get your inventory straight. Write up where you're going to store them. I got a video I did about a table. You can put 8,000 postcards in boxes on that table in a 5 square foot. And that's why I did it, because it's so important to me to have stuff straight and stored securely and in a system that you can work with, and it will scale as you grow. Now, if you just got 100 cards in a box, that's a little different. But if you got a lot of cards in there. Now, this last viewer comment came in from Julie. Do you have multiple eBay accounts? Sorry, I know this about bank accounts, just thinking about niching my eBay accounts. So yes, I have 3 different eBay accounts. So the first account is my toy store, which is Shellmark Sales, that I've had for years. I did downsize it, but that's for the toys and vintage stuff and not non-postcard stuff. And then I have SM Postcards, which is mainly the postcard store. So that's 2 IDs. And then all sellers should have what I recommend is a seller ID or a buyer's account. Not a seller, a buyer's account. So when you go out and buy products or buy things, it doesn't mix into your other store. Some people, I just do it because I'm out there. Maybe I'm not searching for postcards, and if I'm on SMPostcards and I buy non-postcard stuff, whatever. So I have a buyer's account that I go out and I have all my saved searches on. It's like a personal account, but I purchase things through that. So I have 3: buyer's account, toys, postcard. Last few videos I've done a lot of stuff on eras of postcards, chrome, divided back, and different things like that. But I did put a video a while ago, one of my earlier videos, about the eras of postcards. A pretty quick video to go through on some things, section on there. But go ahead and check that out. It'll give you an idea a little bit more about the eras. That's one of the main things you want to learn when reselling postcards is your eras. So you can categorize your cards real well. But that video is right here. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.